Welcome to Think Your Way Up with Dr. Jinneh, the only space in the world where neuroscience, executive leadership, and purpose-driven principles collide to help you disrupt your dysfunctional thoughts and do life and business better. I'm Dr. Jinneh, the friend in your head who will challenge you each week to evict your mental chatter, eliminate your yo-yo thinking, and help you attain the clarity and tools to think up. So let's disrupt the mental chatter together because your next breakthrough starts now. Welcome to Think Your Way Up. Hey, ThinkUP friend. Welcome back to another episode of Think Your Way Up with Dr. Jinneh. I'm your host, Dr. Jinneh, the friend in your head that's helping you to create the life and business that you desire. So today's episode, we're talking all things about speaking into your now. So here's what we have all heard is that what you speak, you see, and that your words create your reality. So I am a living witness. I'm a testament to this, that your words truly create your reality. Early on in my career, I would use words that would not help me, that they would hurt me, they would deter me, they would distract me, they would really harm me. I shared in a previous episode how the way that I used to speak to me and about me was much harsher than what I would allow anybody on the outside world to do. Yet I did it. And it was a season in my life where I really had to get clear about my identity, and I had to stop allowing myself to negotiate with self-sabotage. So in today's episode, what I want to break down for you is how do our words really create our reality? And I want to give you a little bit of some neuroscience on this because if you all don't know, one of my jobs, I have to start, is that I'm a professor at Southern Methodist University and I teach in the psychology department. So we are intentional about looking at data, looking at the science. So I want to bring a little bit of that into the space. I don't ever want it to just be me, my words, my beliefs. I want to give you information that can be biblically based, as well as proven and backed by science and data, as well as real theoretical, actionable practice that I do every single day as an organizational consultant and as a neuroscience and a communication coach. So today, I want to look at the science behind how our words actually create the reality and how what you speak, you actually see. Today's talk isn't just about mindset. It's about brain science and psychology in action. So if you've ever been like me and you struggle with negative self-talk, if you caught yourself saying, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, it's never going to happen for me, my time is done, I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't have what it takes, then I'm talking to you today. And by the end of today's show, you're going to understand how your words literally rewire your brain, and you're going to learn how to break the cycle of negative self-talk and how to use positive and powerful affirmations to transform your mindset, your actions, and your outcomes. Because as you know, all those things work together. So I want you to stay locked in until the end because I want to make sure that you have what you need so that you can win. So let's talk about the science behind it. So neuroscience has proven that your words physically shape your brain. Like it is proven. We can't debate that. It has been scientifically founded that our words physically shape our brain. So every time you say something, whether it is positive or negative, your brain strengthens that neural pathway. A neural pathway is like a road. It's like a path that takes different stimuli into a particular area of the brain, and it changes how the brain responds to that concept. So just keeping it very simple, very baseline. So every time you say something with a positive or negative, your brain strengthens that neural pathway. That neural pathway is like a roadway. So it's almost like it's speeding it. Dr. Andrew Newberg, he's a neuroscientist, and Mark Waldman, a communication expert. So neuroscience and communication, my background. They wrote a book a few years back called Words Change Your Brain. And what they found in their research is that positive words strengthen the frontal lobe of the brain. The frontal lobe, this is the decision-making and problem-solving part. So I know this is heavy science, but I'm going to go somewhere with this for a moment. So what they found, again, is that positive words strengthen the frontal lobe, which is decision-making, problem-solving. That's how we process information. They said the negative words, on the other hand, they trigger the amygdala. This is the part of the brain that's responsible for fear and stress. The positive words strengthen part of the brain that's responsible for decision making and problem solving, while negative words, they trigger that amygdala, which is responsible for fear and stress. So here's what this means if we just look at this from a practical way. If you constantly say things like, I can't, it won't, I don't know how, it won't happen for me, your brain starts to wire itself and it believes that. So it shuts down the other pathways that would help you find solutions. So that means that this road is going to be open for traffic. I can't, I won't, I don't know how, it's too late, it's over. That roadway is open. And then the road that's going to take you to find a solution, that road is closed. So if you constantly say something, it's going to open up that pathway. And that's the pathway that is going to be believing in that phenomenon. And then the other pathway is going to be shut down. If you say, I'm figuring this out, I know that I can do this, I'm learning, I'm growing, then that part of your brain is going to open up neural pathways to make that statement true. In simpler terms, your brain follows your words, which is where the whole notion, your mind plays tricks on you. No, you can trick your mind to perform and behave and thinking how you want it to be because your brain follows your words. So that means that whatever you say, whatever you speak, it is teaching and training your brain how to respond to that. So if you keep telling yourself that you're stuck, your brain is going to make sure that you stay stuck because the brain doesn't know that stuck is not good. The brain doesn't know that stuck is bad. It's just going to be like, oh, stay stuck. This person doesn't want to grow. They don't want to be open. They don't want freedom. They don't want expansion. They don't want to increase. So stay stuck. Your brain is going to keep you stuck. It is there to protect you. It is there to keep you safe. So if you're saying I'm stuck, the brain is thinking, I want you to stay safe. I want you to stay in a space that's going to keep you there. But if you tell yourself that I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm evolving, then your brain is going to be like, oh, learn, grow, evolve. It's going to start looking for different pathways to make that your reality. So I'm going to pause here because I want to make sure you get it. If you were in my classroom right now, I would be drawing, I would be showing you visually how this happens. So let's pause because I want to make sure that you get this. Your brain follows your words. So whatever you're telling yourself, your brain's going to respond. It's going to keep you stuck. If you want to stay stuck, if you keep saying I'm stuck, or it's going to help you identify different neural pathways if you want to grow, learn, and evolve. So that's how the rewiring of the brain works and how those words either help or they hurt you. So let's look at negative self-talk. Okay, so we looked at how the brain works in terms of how words enhance and impact our brain and how our brain follows the words. So now let's look at how this negative self-talk, it acts what I like to call like a mental quicksand. So negative self-talk, if we had it in an overarching, if I had to just put a stamp on it, what it does, it blocks our progress. So anytime you talk negatively about yourself, about a situation, about a circumstance, a condition, something that you are experiencing in your environment, what it's doing is blocking your progress. It is pulling you down before you even take a step forward, which is why I call it mental quicksand. It pulls you down before you even take a step forward. That means you don't even give yourself permission to walk, permission to stand, permission to run, permission to win, because you're already blocking it. You're already canceling. You're already putting yourself down and putting yourself in a predicament where you can't stand up. So negative self-talk is like mental quicksand. And if we were in a psychology 101 class, what you would learn is that there's a network of neurons in your brain that acts as a filter. This is called the reticular activating system. I know this is like heavy side right now. So the reticular activating system, this is all it is. It's a network of neurons in your brainstem that acts as a filter. So it determines what information your brain should focus on and what information your brain should ignore. So that's all it does. It's called RAS, Reticular Activating System. It determines what do you focus on, what your brain should ignore. So here's how it works. If you are a speaker and you're like, I'm terrible at speaking. I'm so bad. I stutter my words. I can't get my thoughts out. The RAS, what it's going to do, it's going to filter out any evidence that contradicts that belief, and it's only going to show you proof that supports it. So it's very sophisticated. So if you're saying, I'm terrible at speaking, I'm not good at this is hard for me, then it's going to be like, it's going to find evidence. And that's going to support that. It's like, you're screwed. This is why you're bad. You stumbled over this. You blew this. You're not good at this. People don't listen. People don't respond. Remember the situation. So it's going to bring things to your memory that's going to confirm it. Now, if you say that I'm confident and I'm capable as a speaker, then it's going to start pulling in opportunities and reinforcements and examples that say, yeah, that's the truth. So it's either going to work for you or it's going to work against you. You are training your brain how to respond. While your brain is an organ, it functions as a muscle. So you're training it on how to respond. So negative self-talk, if we think about it, isn't just about bad vibes. It's not just like bad energy. It's not just something that we should avoid. It's literally training your brain to perform a certain way. It's training your brain to ignore opportunities and things that will propel you. And it's telling your brain to keep you in the same place. So y'all, this is real. Like when I learned this, I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm literally changing the chemical composition of my brain based on my word. So if I want a different outcome, then that means that I have to speak different words. Like if I want a different output, I got to change my input. And I'm like, hold up. So that means that I can literally manipulate my brain to perform a certain way based on what I say. And the answer to that question is yes. So here's my question for you. What words are you feeding your brain every day? So if you've been stuck in a cycle of self-doubt, then now it's time to rewire your reticular activating system, your RAS, and give your brain a new focus. That means that you have the ability to rewire it. It is not a one and done. It's not like a Kentucky basketball program where they used to have players that would come to Kentucky basketball one time, 1 year, and then they're done. It's not that. You have to train it. Training means you have to go through a particular routine, a particular process over and over and over. You have to do it not until it works, but until it doesn't work anymore. You have to train yourself how to do it. You have to rewire your brain. Training is a process of where you're teaching yourself something. You're giving yourself this knowledge, this information to improve your performance. That's what training is. It's a process of developing skills and knowledge so that you can perform in a different way. So that means that you have to train your brain to stop ignoring the opportunities. If you've been on this negative self-talk, but now you got to train it to go after opportunities, to go after blessings, to go after things that are going to affirm you, things that are going to help you. So that's the second part of this, is the whole thing about negative self-talk. So if you think about it, we talked about how the science works. So how do you rewire your brain? We talked about what negative self-talk does. So now let's shift to the conversation and let's talk about, all right, how do we shape our reality with our words? So how do we start using words and language that's going to move us forward and not hold us back? So what's the solution, Dr. J? What's the solution is this, y'all. I know. And don't roll your eyes. Don't be like, I've been there, done that, heard that. I've said it didn't work. It is affirmations. It's affirmations. But let me hit you with the signs in case you're doubting me. So there was a study that was done from Carnegie Mellon University, and they found that self-affirmations reduce stress and increase problem-solving performance. So they've reduced stress and increased problem-solving performance. Essentially, what this means is that it helps your brain respond better to challenges. So how do we do this? All right, I want you to try this. So the first thing I'm going to do is want to identify the negative thought. And if we stick with the same example, I'm not good at speaking. So just pick one negative thought that you hold and believe. I'm not good at speaking. Then you're going to flip that to a future-oriented statement. I am a powerful and confident speaker. Or I am becoming a powerful and confident speaker. And you're going to speak this daily out loud. You have to speak it daily and you have to say it out loud because your brain believes what you repeatedly tell it. The more you say it, the more the subconscious mind accepts it as truth. I'm going to pause this for my friends in the back of the room. Okay, you want to identify the negative thought, flip it to something positive. Remember, future-oriented, as if it's already done. I'm a powerful and confident speaker. I'm a multi-million-dollar business owner. I'm a New York Times bestselling author. I'm a global media personality. Like whatever it is, I want you to speak it as if it's already happened or it's in the process of becoming that. And you want to say this out loud every single day, because whatever you say out loud every single day, your brain believes it. Do you hear me? The same way you hear my voice right now, the brain is hearing what you're saying. The brain believes it. But the more you say it, the more your subconscious mind accepts it as true. So some affirmations that I tell myself every single day, and feel free, write these down. I am built for this. Like, I'm to hard things. Like, I'm built for this. I am walking in my purpose every single day. I'm prepared for each and every opportunity that is coming my way. Opportunities are chasing me down. I am a confident and dynamic speaker that ignites people around me. I attract the people, the opportunities, and the resources every single day. These are affirmations that I believe, and I have a whole list of them that I tell myself every single day. Remember, your words set the tone for your future. So whatever you speak in now is what you're going to manifest into your next. So how do you start speaking as if your goals are already done? This was one of the biggest mindset shifts that I've had to make and that I teach, especially my young athletes, on how to do this. So one of the things that I have told myself is that instead of saying what I'm going to do one day, I say that day is now. So I act as if whatever I want to achieve is now. I tell my athletes this: if they are preparing for the NFL, like I have several football players that I'm working with right now that are preparing for the combine, I don't teach them to say, I'm going to make the team. I am an NFL running back. I am changing my family's tree to professional football. So whatever it is, we say it as if our goals are already accomplished. So if I was using the same example we can building on, one day I'll be a great speaker. Instead of saying that, I am a great speaker and I'm stepping into new opportunities daily. Instead of saying, I hope I make money in my business, money flows to me as I walk in my purpose and I serve other people. And remember, it's about positioning yourself to say these things, to believe these things. It's not about lying. We're not lying. What we are doing, we're aligning our language with our vision. Your faith and action go hand in hand. So I want to say this again, because I'll have somebody say, well, that's just lying. I'm not a multi-million-dollar business owner, not yet, but it's coming. The money just hasn't hit the account yet. So we're aligning our language with our vision, because we know that our faith and our action go hand in hand. The Bible says that faith without works is dead. You can believe, but if you don't have the action to it, you won't receive it. So you have to make sure there's alignment between your language and your vision. So if you want to change your life, you have to start speaking as if it has already happened, because your words shape your mindset. Your mindset shapes your actions, and your actions is what will create your reality. This is how you position yourself for greatness. This is how you move and you become not just a good leader, but a great leader. This is how you move from becoming a good speaker to a great speaker. How you move from becoming just another voice on the internet to a thought leader is because you know how to align your language with your vision. And when you know that it's time to elevate, you think differently, you speak differently, you show up differently, because we know that leaders, we position ourselves and we have a posture that draws people in to us. And if you are a leader and you have a desire to get booked and paid to speak more, where you know that you have a voice that is needed in this market space, then I want to invite you to be a part of the Operation Speak Up. You know, Operation Speak Up is not just about learning how to speak. It's a little bit of it's partially that, but it's really about mastering your mindset, your message, and your money. Because when you know how to communicate your vision and bring other people along with you, then you not only can change your life, but you can change the life of other people. So there's a link below this about Operation Speak Up. Would love to support you. Would love to serve you in that capacity. So I hope this was helpful. I know we got into some psychology today, but that's my thing. Just remember, if you don't remember anything else, remember this: your words literally rewire your brain. Your words physically shape your brain, and your brain follows your words. So I hope this was helpful to you. I believe in you, and I want to be sure that you are winning. So let's get into today's thought leader. I love this question. How do I balance ambition and contentment without feeling like I'm never doing enough? How do I balance ambition and contentment without feeling like I'm never doing enough? So thank you so much. This is Nicole from Oklahoma. Shout out to my Oklahoma people. Nicole, I love your self-awareness. I'm like, hey, I want to be ambitious and I want to be in a place of contentment because I want to be content with what's in front of me. But that sometimes feels like I'm not doing enough, that I should be doing more. And Nicole, this is a real question because it's something that many high performers struggle with. They struggle with feeling like no matter what they accomplish, there's always something more that they should be doing. And I remember times in my life when I would hit a goal. Instead of celebrating a goal, I was already thinking about what was next or what could I have done differently with that goal. Like sometimes we're the hardest critics. So being in that constant state of striving and achieving and trying to do more, if you're not careful, it can make you exhausted mentally, physically, and emotionally. And unfortunately, I've had to learn the hard way that it's one thing to be grateful for where you are. It's another thing to keep striving for where you are, but that cannot define our destiny. So a few years ago, I had a big win. And it was one of those moments that I had prayed for. And I was like, if I landed this opportunity, my entire life would change. And while I should have been celebrating and sitting in that moment of that opportunity, instead, I was already planning what I should be doing next because I felt like I wasn't doing enough. And one of my mentors hit me with a question and it shook me to my core. It said, what is enough for you? Like you're accomplishing so many things. You're doing so many incredible things. What is enough for you? And I didn't have the answer to that question. And that's when I realized for me that I was chasing goals without allowing myself to be present in my own success. Like sometimes we can be chasing things and be so consumed with achieving more that we don't even recognize the beauty, the gift, the value of being present in our today, being present in our own success. So here's what I've learned about balancing ambition with contentment. Redefine success as progress and not perfection. I stopped chasing for the destination and started enjoying the journey. I stopped defining success by how much I achieved, and I started seeing success as consistent progress. So what makes me successful? It's not what my bank account says. It's not my followers on social media. It's not how many deals I close. It's not how many stages I speak on. But success for me is about consistent progress every single day. It's about learning how to win the day. It's about learning how to win the moment. This is why I'm so big on teaching people, how do you win the moment? Because if I win each moment, then that means that I'm growing, I'm learning, and I'm taking intentional steps towards my vision. And for me, that's enough. The things to do list will never be blank. The ongoing list of activities and chores to do around the house and for my kids will never not end. There will always be laundry. Laundry is a sign of life. So for me, I had to get into the space of success isn't about how much I achieved, but it's really about consistent progress. And that's what makes me successful. I also had to learn how to celebrate the present while building the future. So now every time I reach a milestone, I don't care what it is, big or small. I take time to acknowledge it. I pause, I feel it, I reflect on it, and I tell myself, girl, look how far you've come. Look at where God has brought you. Look at how you didn't give up. Look at how you've kept going. Look at how you've turned that setback into a setup. And I stay in gratitude because for me, gratitude is what fuels ambition for the future. It is my today action that sets me up for my next level winning. It is my gratitude today that postures and positions me for my altitude for tomorrow. So I stay in that place. I celebrate the present, but I still have my eyes on the future, but I'm enjoying that moment and I'm telling myself that I'm proud of me. And then I also set enough goals. So for me, I asked, what does success look like for me in this season? Not forever, not next year, but for now. Like this keeps me grounded. So my goals, I set enough goals. What is enough in this moment? What is enough for this season? What is enough for being a mom, a wife, 3 kids that are all in 3 different activities? One lives 2.5 hours away because he's in college, but we have a full basketball schedule. What does enough look like when me and my husband are in alignment and we're partnering in ministry? What does enough look like for us to serve our families well, to show up? What does enough look like for me to be there for my sister friends? What does enough look like for me as a thought leader, an entrepreneur, a speaker, an author, a coach, a consultant? Like, what is enough? It may not look like anybody else's. It may not be things that I'm going to get awarded for and praised for and accolades for, but it's enough for me. And that's what matters. And it's not for my next, it's for my now. I'm so focused on my now that nothing can shake or break or distract me. So Nicole, I want to give you that encouragement. Set enough goals. And then also stop comparing your journey. Like, stop comparing it. Like, comparison is the fastest way to kill contentment. If you want to be contented this season, keep your eyes on your own paper. Because when I catch myself looking at somebody else, I remind myself that their pace is their pace, my pace is my pace, and my journey is mine for a reason. There's something that God is doing in me. He's developing in me. He's equipping me. He's pruning me. He's refining me. It's for me. This is my journey for me by my God for whatever reason that God has for me. Somebody else, they're on their own journey. They're on their own pace, but I'm running my race, how God has called me to run this race. And then my last thing for you, my friend, is trust that what's for you won't pass you. I used to feel like I had to do everything at once, but I learned that what is meant for me is already mine. Like, whatever God wants to do in me, God's going to get the glory out of it if I'm obedient. So I don't have to hustle. I don't have to do something out of fear. I don't have to do something out of, I'm trying to compete. I'm trying to compare. I can move with confidence and I can trust that God has already anointed and appointed the journey that I'm in. So to you, Nicole, and to anybody else who's listening, and you feel like you're not doing enough, I want you to hear this. Lean in, come a little bit closer. You are enough. Your progress is enough. Your journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Keep striving. Be proud of how far you come. Pat your own self on the back. Encourage yourself. Or know that whatever you do in this now season is going to position you for your next. One thing that I always tell people when I'm speaking in a room is that it is your now level action that produces your next level winning. So you don't have to worry about what's going to happen next. All you have to do is be faithful and master your now. That's it. Focus on mastering your now. Because here's your ThinkUP tip. Whatever you desire, you are really only one thought away from greatness. You don't have to manipulate anything. You don't have to hustle anything. You don't have to force anything. All you have to do is be faithful in your now. Be obedient in what's in front of you. And God will do something incredible through you and within you. Sometimes we want to get ahead. We want to rush, and we don't have to. The biggest and best thing we can do is speak into our now and know that everything that we're doing now is positioning us to win in our next. So I love you, friends. I do. I really do. And I believe in you. I'll see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Think Your Way Up with Dr. Jinneh. I hope today's episode challenged your thinking, shifted your perspective, and gave you the tools to disrupt your mental chatter and step boldly into your greatness. Remember, friend, you're just one thought away from the clarity, confidence, and transformation you deserve. If you love today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs this message. Let's spread the power of ThinkUP together. Until next time, keep challenging your limits, evicting your doubts, and creating the life and business you were meant to live. You've got this. I believe in you. See you next week on Think Your Way Up with Dr. Jinneh.